Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. Happy Thursday. Glad you're here. By the way, before I get started, if you watch these live, you may think I'm just sitting there doing nothing, while I'm drinking my coffee. But actually, when I click live up on the screen next to my picture, what I see that y'all see, a little orange button pops up and it says live. But down in the bottom corner, there's an indicator that it hasn't gone live yet. And I've found that if I start before that little orange button in the bottom fires up, that an indeterminate amount of time might pass while I'm yammering on. And for whatever reason, it's not showing up in the feed. But people have told me that when they watch it live, they see me sitting there, seemingly doing nothing, enjoying my coffee. So if you watch live and you're wondering, what the heck are you doing? Well, that's it. By the way, this is a coffee mug from the American Queen Riverboat Company. Doesn't exist anymore. Between pandemics and hurricanes and all sorts of things, this riverboat company that went up and down the Mississippi went out of business. This is from my wife and I honeymoon. We spent a week on the American Queen. It was glorious, but company no longer exists, sadly. Anyway. Well, that's enough about that. So today's Red Mic message, guardrail damage up ahead. Well, what do I mean by that? Warning signs like that, guardrail damage up ahead, they're technically correct, but they're practically useless. I see that guardrail sign all the time. I'm sure you do too. And the first thing that pops into my head every time I see them is, well, thank goodness you told me. I will make extra sure, I will be extra careful that if I'm going to have a wreck that is going to, by its very nature, be an accident and something that I'm not planning on doing, but I'll be extra careful to make sure I don't have a wreck specifically right there where the guardrail can't help me. It's worthless. It's ridiculous. I mean, I understand why it's there. I'm sure there's a whole lot of liability involved, but it's worthless. It's a ridiculous sign that means absolutely nothing. There's also signs in the men's room in bars and restaurants that serve alcohol in Texas. Again, signs in the men's room that warn about the dangers of drinking alcohol while pregnant. I have no problem with warning pregnant women, hey, don't drink. Don't drink if you think you might be pregnant. Don't drink if you are pregnant. But putting those signs in the men's room, and this is required by law, by the way, unless there's been some major medical breakthrough that nobody told me, the target audience in that room may not be the highest at risk for that particular warning. Just saying. And then this is one you probably get every day. It's warnings that say, your information has been found on the dark web. And is my next question. Okay, now what? Is it my current password, an old password, a Netflix login from 2014? Is it my bank account, a spam list, something that I've already fixed? Is it a real threat? Or is it just proof that existing online in 2026 is basically participation in a group project with criminals? I mean, those alerts create anxiety, but don't provide a useful next step. My HOA does a similar thing. They'll send vague notices about your grass or branches hanging over the sidewalk or bushes you haven't trimmed yet because often, as you probably know, got hammered with spring rain and everything grew 5 feet overnight. It's often a blurry photo with no real explanation, no context, just enough ambiguity to make you walk outside and stare at your lawn like David Caruso putting on sunglasses or taking them off, while Roger Daltrey screams, "We won't get fooled again." It's a pattern. Modern systems are no longer optimized to help people understand risk. They're optimized to protect someone else from risk. They're optimized to prove the system issued a warning. That's different. Somewhere along the line, organizations figured out if you warn people, you reduce liability. So now everything comes with alerts, disclaimers, advisories, mandatory trainings, pop-ups, notifications, warning labels, urgent emails, breaking news banners, app permissions, security notices, cookie policies, and enough terms of services agreements to wallpaper the moon. And I think eventually all this noise, and hats off to Tesla. I know it was Five Man Electrical Band that did the song originally, but hats off to Tesla. Signs, signs everywhere. There's signs blocking out the scenery. Do this, don't do that. Can't you read the signs? I think we're all hit with warning fatigue. Hospitals study it, pilots study it, cybersecurity experts study it. When humans receive too many low value warnings, they begin ignoring all warnings, including the important ones, because a human attention is finite, and systems that overwarn eventually underprotect because no one pays attention anymore. And that's the real danger. And it goes beyond just signs and notifications. It's in media, politics, corporate America, government. It's everywhere. Every storm is historic. Every election is the most important of our lifetime. Every disagreement is an existential crisis. Every email is high priority. Every workplace training is critical. So is every computer update. We as humans are not meant to constantly be on alert. That happens and the signal gets buried beneath all the noise. Modern systems optimize for compliance, documentation, engagement, legal protection, and institutional self-defense. They are not designed for clarity. They are not designed for usefulness, not common sense for sure. Go back to that bathroom sign. The system's often not trying to help you. It's trying to prove that it warned you. That's why there's signs on an iron that says, "Do not use on clothes while wearing." Mission accomplished. They warned you. Don't do that. You'll burn yourself. A warning to me only matters if it's credible, actionable, and let's face it, rare enough to command your attention. If everything is urgent, nothing is. If every alert screams, then people stop listening. And the leaders who communicate best usually aren't the loudest people in the room. They're the clearest. Sometimes they're the quietest. They know the difference between information and clutter, between guidance and theater, between helping people and simply protecting the institution. In this noisy world, clarity is leadership. And that's today's Red Mike message. Hope you found it interesting or helpful. I hope you're able to use some of these things in place in your own life. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it very much. I'd also appreciate a like, a follow, and a share. The share is really important. That gets more eyeballs and more ear holes on these messages that I share with you every day. I appreciate you so much. I'll see you again tomorrow. Hashtag Fun Friday. Still haven't figured out what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do my best to make it interesting for you. And until next time, don't forget, life is short. Drink the bourbon. I'll see you.